Great day, great folks. Coach K, Kingdom Business Owners. And for those of you who are not familiar with our original Identify, Connect, Equip to Transform movement, I wanted to come on and teach it to you. And for those who are familiar, I wanted to refresh your memory because God has demanded that we go to the next level. From 2007 to COVID, I worked with a company I'm no longer have anything to do with. And we created over 403 paper church business directories, registered over 48,000 Christian business owners in the mid to eastern part of the United States. It came to an end. Why? Because of COVID. And during COVID, business went from brick and mortar to click and order. It went from a physical business market to a digital business market. And some models were able to sustain, others died. Now, the premise of us knowing each other, the premise of us being connected, the premise of us establishing and strengthening relationships, that will never fade because people do business with who they know, like, and trust. Well, W.E.B. Du Bois set the stage with his centennial work, The Negro in Business, when he said nothing, that zero zip nada, y'all, nothing positive will ever take place in a community that fails to recirculate its dollar. It's impossible for us to circulate our dollar in a community if we don't know who the businesses in our community are. That's the reason why we created these congregational directories in the first place. Excuse me. Because they strengthen relationships within the congregation. They allowed us to know who the businesses were that we could do business with so that we could strengthen our dollar, keep it recirculating in our communities. Well, the challenge with entrepreneurial ministry smacked about 80% of the churches that were involved in this collective effort during COVID as well. And that's the fact that the women get together in the women's ministry because they women and they get together. Fellas get together in the men's ministry because they fellas and we get together. And the kids get together because they kids and their parents tell them to. But the entrepreneurs, see, at first they get together in order to meet each other. But for the entrepreneur, the most valuable commodity is their time. And so when the business market hit tumultuous times, people were looking for assistance from the church and from the entrepreneurial ministries to assist them during those times in their business. And previously, the pastor picked someone who had a good business and a bunch of relationship equity in the congregation, but they didn't necessarily have entrepreneurial development expertise. So 80% of those congregations fell, or those ministries fell. And so I have never been motivated by making money on the entrepreneurial ministry. I feel as though this is the purpose for which God and the lane for which God has created for me to get him glory through my life. My grandfather, Samuel William Boynton, did a whole lot of work inside of Selma for community development and entrepreneurial development. He taught entrepreneurial development back when it was sharecropping. So I have his spirit, though I didn't get to learn from him directly, but I did learn from my spiritual father, Reverend Dr. Leon Zeller. He launched Select Patronage with the same number of Baptist preachers or Black preachers that we have directors. He launched it with 403. I completed 403 directors. It might be a coinky dink to some. Some folks might say I'm just methodical. Whichever one you want to pick is fine for me. It's not about me. It's about God getting glory, making myself a reputation. He launched something called OIC, where it opened up so many jobs that he had to train folk for the jobs. And then he opened up something called Progress Plaza, which the Kingdom Marketplace is the modern day Progress Plaza. And so I've always been intrigued by the entrepreneurial Jesus. And so that's what I wanted to do. Now, I was mentored by a Hall of Fame quarterback who built the largest collective body of micro entrepreneurs in North America. Of course, you've heard of it. It's called Go Small Biz. It was founded by Hall of Fame quarterback Fran Tarkenton, and it had an exclusive marketing agreement with a legacy network marketing company by the name of Prepaid Legal. Prepaid Legal's highest sold highest retention product in its corporate history is its small business plan. In its small business plan, you get accessibility to the prepaid legal attorneys, whatever, and you get accessibility to the Go Small Biz consultants. Fran has consultants in every area of business. And so one of the things that Fran had was something called the Breakfast with Fran. It was a monthly networking event. Listen to me, being totally transparent, where for the network marketers nationwide who were selling the prepaid legal small business plan that were small business certified, trained by myself or either my partner, Chris Barnes, and they would invite people to a monthly networking event where Fran, being the father of entrepreneurial development of our generation, would bring on some guru once a month that would utilize technology to stream out to these networking events that business people would come to so they could be able to network with each other. And then they would hear from this incredible speaker. Fran didn't just have Go Small Biz. He has something called Targeting .com, where we white label all of these entrepreneurial services. Now, Fran didn't make his money in the NFL. Son of a preacher, really big on service. And so he taught us that me and Chris did businesses about service. And so he knows the call of my life is really to help people. I attempted to launch a company and urban entrepreneur back in 2009. And Fran said, that's not going to work for you. And I thought, well, you don't know what I'm doing. And he mended fatherly because the anointing on my life is to really help people. I ended up partnering with these guys. Back then, business was brick and mortar. So this guy, Craig Kelly, has a printing press. And Fran is a mentor. He's like a father. He's given me tons of wisdom on but I can't think of too many things that he's told me wrong as it pertains to business. An amazing man of honor and integrity. And gonna run me up the pole for some non-compete a million times and did allow me to learn from those mistakes. But Mr. Targeting publicly, I want to thank you for the investment of your wisdom in my life. And so I partnered with Craig, and Craig knows that Fran has relationships with prepaid legal. They're making millions of dollars. Now, some people in the network marketing industry, the direct sales industry, they sell soaps, lotions, potions, and pills. I'm selling Martindale Hubble AV rated attorneys. If you don't understand, the peer rating system for attorneys is the Martindale Hubble system. And 80 to 90% of the attorneys who own the firms in the prepaid legal network are Martindale Hubbard AV rated attorneys. And so I'm making millions of dollars for these folks, but don't rock the boat, kid. Are y'all kind of tracking the situation I'm in? And so I make this deal with Craig because of this vision that God gives me from Luke, the 5th chapter. Identify, connect, equip to transform. And it was Christian business owners, and then it's kingdom business owners now. We're going to identify kingdom business owners, kingdom marketplace entrepreneurs, and kingdom aspiring entrepreneurs. And then we're going to use these paper business directories to connect them with each other so that they can establish and strengthen relationships, so that they can promote their products and services, so that they can share information and resources. And then, similar to the Breakfast with Fran and network marketing things, they're going to have these roundtables where they're going to be equipped. This is the special sauce right here. With the principles, the skill sets, the philosophies, and the disciplines that they need in order to succeed. I don't know it all, but I know a little bit. Y'all remember Nehemiah, cupbearer to the king, little slave boy, get to grow up with the king, and they develop a relationship. And one day the king says, "Nee, what's up? You look a little bothered." He says, "I can't enjoy all of this. Tower, one place in Buckhead, 3340 Peachtree, Atlanta, Georgia, Financial District. Wow. And One Ala Moana Plaza, Honolulu, Hawaii, 1555 Kapolani Boulevard. What? 813, I ain't worried about it. You ain't pulling up. I don't deserve this when my folk going through. And what did the king do? He gave Nehemiah all the resources. Go ahead, get us to your folk. And so Fran allows me, go ahead, get to you folks. You're working with churches, get these folks what they need. With the idea that if we identify the kingdom business owners, if we connect them and we equip them with the principles, skill sets, philosophies, and disciplines, it will transform the marketplace from the regular marketplace to the kingdom marketplace, from a platform where Satan has a stronghold to a major spiritual transformational platform in the lives of God's people. Imagine being the pastor who, is praying for everyone, how transformational that will be. Imagine the outreach, the evangelism. And so what ended up happening was that was the beginning idea. And a little bit later, uh, a lot more revenue started being generated than folks anticipated. And so Craig and Joe, the old marketing dudes, start giving some kickbacks to some churches, and they start watering down the equip part. And so what I did was I kept my head down because I had made a promise to the people of God. And so COVID came, and business went from brick and mortar to click and order, and the company closed. And Google made the transition from Google My Business to Google Business Profiles. I have been the dean of Amazing Grace Banks Sullivan's relaunch of Mini University via Yolanda Denise King, Martin Luther King Jr.'s oldest daughter, as Urban Success University since 2002. So we've added Teen Entrepreneurial Academy since 2012. So our female students have been very big on search engine optimization, very big on search engine marketing, very big on social media marketing, very big on AI. And so it just made sense on this side of COVID to bring the elder business owners who had the brick and mortar businesses and our teenagers who came out the womb with these smart devices together and have some intergenerational conversations where the elders who don't understand tech and the teens who do could be able to come together and revive, restore, intergenerationally rebuild our kingdom and urban business community online. And so it's a simple formula. We need to do updates, and let's allow the youth to do the work, and we'll pay them the money and it'll go back to the students. And so my old white partners listened very intently as though they would hire the kids. And last minute, they backed out. And then they began to launch an independent marketing campaign as though they had done everything that the kids had done. And so our students set out and they built something from scratch. The Kingdom Marketplace, the modern day version of Progress Plaza, the first online small business community fully integrated with Google Business Profiles, fully integrated with Google Maps, fully integrated with all the major social media marketing platforms, and woven into a digital DNA are search engine optimization, search engine marketing, and social media marketing tools specifically designed to assist everybody properly register with ranking higher online. They're in pre-launch right now. The previous company sells memberships annually, profiles starting at $250 annually. Our daughters are in pre-launch. If you were listed in any of the previous directories that we assisted with building, if you complete the Google Business Profile, you're going to be listed here for free. We have some upgraded profiles: bronze, silver, gold, and our first sponsorship level is diamond. Each one has some additional digital marketing and social media marketing services associated with it. The bronze level allows you full access to the Kingdom Marketplace entrepreneurial ecosystem. You can market your products and services right here. You can launch your events. You can launch your podcast, your music, your blog, fully interactive. Bless your life for the rest of your life. During the first year, if you upgrade during pre-launch, 100% of the income or the upgrade fee is going to be paid as income to a female student of Urban Success University. This entire concept is part of a movement they have launched called Brains Over Boobs. Our female students are combating the oversexualized culture and the social media pressure, attempting to objectify them, attempting to prey on them, not Praying, like mamas and them used to do in the old church, but Preying. Pray on how hard it is for our high school and urban daughters to be able to perpetuate a couple of dollars, and they want their little hair and nails done, their little fit. They just want to look cute. Pay for a little cost of college life. Aren't a lot of ways for them to do that, utilizing their brains, but a lot of ways utilizing their physique, objectifying them. The most readily available methods for our daughters to make some quick cash are with their hands on their knees, shaking their little booty, instead of their hands on their keyboards. And our daughters, they want to shift the culture. They want to shift the culture and make it the norm for young black women to show off their brains moving and not their butt cheeks. You got to support them with that. And they wanted to perpetuate a method for them to be able to get a bag to make some income utilizing their digital marketing and social media marketing skills, um, and not their physique. So they built this in order to be able to make a bag. Elders support them and upgrade because a lot of our elder businesses don't know digital marketing, and even if they did have time to study it, don't have the time to implement it. And so amazing fix for our community. Patronize our daughters on the Kingdom Marketplace. Now all of this for my position and select patronage, as my spiritual father, Reverend Dr. Leon Sullivan, did. He asked you to withdraw your patronage from Tasty Cake because they wouldn't employ our black youth. I'm asking you to do the same from my previous partners. Withdraw your support from Kingdom Press. Withdraw your support from Christians in Business and redirect it over to our children. Okay? They've stolen the idea. They have, and this is where it gets really diabolical, right? They have, in essence, hired elder individuals who know nothing about tech, and then to merely compete with our children in this lane. I'll give you an example. One of them is what's this woman's name for you? Frederick Brown, Atlanta, Georgia. Call her up, y'all. Her number is 404-924-4097. Ask her this question. When you talked to KJ and he told you that our daughters built the Kingdom Marketplace to put some money in their pocket to combat the over sexualized culture, why did you still want to partner with Christians in Business, knowing that it provides no value, no tangible digital services to the Christian business community? Was it really worth it to stack up a residual income stream? Because I've launched tons of network marketing teams and residual income streams where if you patronize Christians in Business, it costs nothing once the website's built. I own it. It's built. The daughters have built it. Okay? It costs nothing when you're there. The work is creating your profile. That's why when you come over here, our daughters create your profile, do all the digital work, and for patronizing them in pre-launch, you're there forever. But they're not telling you the truth. They're just saying, pay us the same amount of money for nothing. And that as an auto renew, and on this auto renew, you're just going to keep paying us, and we're just going to keep paying this residual income stream to Ursula. Great. We talk about business. We talk about kingdom business. Folks are hurting right now. Now I'm going to tell you what they're looking for. Of the 48,000 businesses that registered in these 403 directories, only 8,000 of you paid. So I just want to tap that 8,000. I believe this call is on my life to be used by God to assist however many of you that are open still in this 48,000. Now, yes, I have a membership department. There is a charge for the membership, not for you, not for the first year. The Kingdom Business Owner membership is free for the first year. How do I get it? You patronize our daughters during pre-launch. Bronze, silver, gold, whatever level that you assist me with creating some jobs for our urban daughters over the summer by patronizing them to do some digital work for your business. Not only are you going to get a lifetime profile, but you're also going to get a free. Y'all know what y'all say. If it's free, it's for me. Y'all gonna get a free 1-year membership to Kingdom Business Owners, equal, listen to me, to the level of profile you purchase from our daughters. You purchase a bronze from our daughters, you're gonna get a bronze membership, silver, gold, so forth and so on. Now, if you purchase a bronze, let me tell you, you're gonna get accessibility in the membership section to elite networking and mentorship. You're going to gain direct access to top entrepreneurs and industry leaders that want to sow into you for no other purpose than the fact that God has blessed them in their individual name. You're going to get business mastery education. You're going to learn the principles, skill sets, philosophies, and disciplines, right? The fundamentals of running a successful business, from financial management, branding, marketing, industry expert. You're gonna get the Google My Business optimization assistance and or assessment available. All right. Those of you with websites, you're gonna get website analysis, consultation. You're gonna receive professional advice on how to optimize your website in order to drive better traffic and conversion. You're going to get search engine optimization assistance on how to improve the visibility of your website and attract more quality customers. You're going to get social media marketing info on how to craft compelling campaigns that resonate where your ideal avatar and your particular target audience. You're going to get entrepreneurial coaching. I mean, literally, you're going to work with industry leaders that are going to pour into you, to mentor you, to help you navigate the challenges that you're going to encounter growing the business that God has positioned you to grow. Website developing, business funding, business plan development. You're going to get the sauce. Okay. And I love to undersell and over deliver. So I'm going to give it to you for free. I'm going to tell you the amount of quality information you're going to get in this year. You're going to renew anyway just to still get access. If you don't renew, and you don't even have to renew, your membership is access is just going to drop. Your profile is, if you're in pre-launch and you're a lifetime member, if you're one of our founding members, you're gonna have access forever. You're gonna be able to go in. But the membership section, when you get access to what we're gonna give you, let me put this into perspective. From 1999 to 2002, I watched Mr. impact over 480,000 micro entrepreneurs in North America, ladies and gentlemen. If you are at the Solution Solving Center of over 480,000 micro entrepreneurs over the course of 2 decades, you learn a little bit. I know a little bit about what entrepreneurs need, not to just but to succeed, but to really, really not just stay alive, but to thrive out here in these digital streets. I'm free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. No non-competes, no non-disclosures. I'm giving you the sauce, all right, to motivate you to support our daughters, all right? Out of the 48,000 of you, I need 10%. I need 4,000 of you support our daughters at a bronze level, and we're going to pay out over $1 million to our daughters the first year. If you hear the second year, you know what our funds going to go towards? We redoing the Success for Teens curriculum. Back then in bulk, all right, it cost $1 per book. It got 8 chapters, 4 principles per chapter, 32 in all. Go ahead over to summersuccessschool.com. I made it available free. You can download a copy of the book, download a copy of the workbook. I'm going to put the audio up as well. Download a copy of the teaching guide. It's a 30 to 45-minute curriculum for every single point, okay? And teach it free in your school, in your church, wherever you are, all right? But one of the things that you're also going to notice is the case study right below. We impacted over 5 million youth, okay? We became mandatory curriculum in over 50 different school districts before Donald Trump and Betsy DeVos the first time raped all our schools for their financial funding. This time just killed the public education department. Listen, what the Lord wills to provide for is social entrepreneurship at its best. All right. You know, we learned that from Mama and them in the church. Mama and them, they had a ministry, the women's ministry. They wanted to go to the play. Wasn't no money in the budget. So they launched a little fish fries, a little bake sale. And we bought them cookies and we bought that fish and that chicken. And Mama and them ain't put the money in their pocket. They used the money to go on to the plate. We wanted to go to the amusement park. And we said, Mama, can we have some money to go? They said, no. Y'all better have a car wash or something. We washed them cars, made a couple dollars, and the youth department went to the amusement park. Well, the same thing. God said to Moses, what's in your hand? We got all this tech. We're going to come together and we're going to patronize our babies. The first year, we're going to put some money in our daughter's pocket so they ain't got to do nothing strange for a little piece of change. And we're going to make sure that all of our folks, not just the ones who got some money, see the beauty of this is everybody get a digital presence. We get to cross congregational and denominational lines and everybody get to come together. We get to have a networking event on the north side of town, the south side of town, the east side of town, the west side of town. We got enough churches we can rotate. In Georgia, it's 46 congregations, 8,200. That's where they're launching at. Georgia is a new birth. It's over 500 folk registered. House of Hope, over 500 folk registered. Elizabeth, over 500 folk registered. A whole bunch of other folk, 8,200. Tons of additional churches, tons of additional entrepreneurs, valuable products and services. How about this? How about the pastors don't have control from the bottom, from the top down? No, this kingdom. Our babies are calling the entrepreneurs individually, saying, listen, can you complete this profile, this Google form, so we can update your profile? Because now we need information that we didn't need before on paper. Now we need your website, we need your social media. Just take the time and put all that in. We use AI, you're there. It's nothing, it's a summer thing. And if you so want, upgrade now, support the babies, because when you really see all the sauce, when you see all the AI, when you see all of the tech stuff and the networking and all of that, oh, you're going to want to upgrade. Oh, yes, you will. But then it's going to be a monthly. Then it's going to be an annual. And, today's price ain't tomorrow's price. That's all. But for showing your testimony, there's over 400 different business categories. Our daughters want one strong kingdom testimony for every individual lane. That's the other reason I picked Georgia, right? Because Georgia has the strongest kingdom testimonies. Fellas who ain't been on the, I mean, you really been on getting it with the Lord. Donate your testimony. Go ahead and donate your testimony. Ladies, go ahead over to blackwomenruntheworld.com and donate your testimony. Our daughter's doing featured articles. These are the things that you want to drive traffic to your site. And I'm going to give you all the sauce. I'm going to close you out with some scripture so you know where this has always been and where we are now. And then I'm going to give you the extra sauce. Identify, connect, equip to transform comes from Luke 5. Jesus, the original kingdom entrepreneurial coach, is, let's call the kingdom marketplace the lake. Jesus, the Bible declares in Luke. Let me cut the fan off because it's going to keep turning my Bible pages. So Luke number 5. So it was as the multitude pressed about to hear the word of God that he, Jesus, stood by the lake of Gennesaret on the kingdom marketplace. And he saw 2 boats standing by the lake, but the fishermen had gone from them and were washing their nets. He identified Simon. Simon is a kingdom entrepreneur. Simon has gone to Morehouse School of Fishing. He has done everything the world has told him to do pertaining to entrepreneurship, but he hasn't got the bag. Other fishermen are loading up their carts. Simon's cleaning out his net. Folks are telling them, Simon, I thought you was going to get that business. He's like, listen, I know God got something for him. And Jesus identifies him. Now, it shows a relationship, the connection, because everybody inside of the Sunday morning breakfast club, everybody you see in the church building, just so you know what that is, you don't let get in your car. So Jesus tells Simon, pull up. And Jesus gets in Simon's car and sits down. It identifies the fact that they have a relationship, a real connection. And so Jesus is teaching on the lake. Y'all know, oh, I want to see Jesus. I want to see Jesus. Let me put it up on the board. So can y'all see? Okay, this is the lake and this is the water. And now Simon is pulled up with his boat, and the folk about to push Jesus in the lake. So Jesus sits in the boat like I'm sitting in the chair, and he starts to teach the people on the lake. Now, as he's teaching the people on the lake, he's giving them the sauce. That's why you get registered on the Kingdom Marketplace. You're gonna get the sauce. One of the things that I feel obligated by God to make sure that you know is financial literacy from an entrepreneurial development standpoint. I don't believe, having seen almost 500,000 entrepreneurs indirectly go across my desk in the last 20 years, that you could be a successful entrepreneur if you're not financially literate. And there is a smorgasbord of business financing available to you if you are properly structured. You know, during COVID, there was a ton of financial assistance available for small business, but we did business instead of business. Tons of people told us what we need to do is get an LLC, but they never told us what to do in order to, once we have an LLC. And so I have 18 steps that I've come up with that effectively teach you how to establish your corporate footprint so that your LLC is lend worthy. And what is that? Worthy to be lended to. And so the financial institutions will give you the bag pertaining to lending. I do that extremely intensely for our Black women and for our minority entrepreneurs who are dealing with a lot of the stuff that this administration is doing. This administration is pro-capitalism, so they're pro-big business. And during COVID, business didn't just go from brick and mortar to click and order. With Google and a lot of the online things and technology allows you to scale and automate. A lot of the strategies that were previously reserved for Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 corporations are now readily available to everyday entrepreneurs like you and me. So now it positions us to be able to utilize those strategies. One of the things that I'm very big on now in the equipping part is four things: making sure that you have the funding, right? Understanding business funding and how to attain it, making sure that you have the systems. It's an acronym for saving yourself stress, time, energy, and money, right? We're going to learn how to work smart and not hard. Okay. A lot of y'all talk about, I'm a boss in my business, I'm a CEO in my business, but you operate your business like a side hustle. You got to be an entrepreneur. There's a certain mindset that goes along with being a successful CEO. Those strategies, we make those systems, make sure you got those strategies, make sure you understand and are implementing so you can scale and automate and the resources that you need. You know, there right now, one of the things that we're very big on, why we want to make sure that everybody is on one particular place and not these individual silos, is the overwhelming amount of kingdom resources that we have in our community, but we don't know who anyone is. Somebody, thank you for the privilege, has to be used by God to create a platform where everyone can get registered. We have a code of conduct. Don't break it, and you will never lose your page. I'm not Zuckerberg. I'm not ever gonna take your page like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. No, I own the network. It's built by our daughters. Support them. We're in the Bible. So it was Jesus was pressed. I told you they was pressed upon the lake, about to knock him into the lake, and for folk to hear the word of God. I know y'all wanted the word. I got you back. And so he stood by the lake of Gennesaret, and he saw two boats standing by the lake, but the fishermen had gone from them and were washing their nets. Then he got into one of the boats, which was Simon's, and asked him to put out a little bit. Now this is where we're going to go from the Kingdom Marketplace to the KingdomClassroom.com. This is the teaching portion. That when you upgrade, you get a membership to Kingdom Business Owners, and you also get accessibility to the Kingdom Classroom. There are certain classes that just when you get registered, I'm still going to give you for free. That's the stuff in the Kingdom Marketplace, the funding, the Google optimization, a lot. Undersell and over deliver. Get registered. You can be like, oh my God, this is amazing. If the intention is to sow so much value into you that you get so much benefit, you support our daughters anyway. And you have a year to do that because you got registered during the pre-launch period. When we go to full launch over the summer, then if you hadn't registered for free now, you're not going to be a founding member. You, over this next year, will not be able to upgrade. You'll be able to upgrade, but what is the lifetime will be the annual, because that's what it is at the old company. But you know, there's benefit for supporting our daughters. Jesus sees two boats and he's washing their nets, and he tells them to put out a little while, and he's still teaching everybody from the net in the kingdom marketplace, right? And he sits down and he's teaching the multitudes from the boat, and then he stops speaking. I'm at verse 4, Luke 5, and he tells Simon to go out a little bit deeper. This is one-on-one coaching. This ain't for everybody. Now, y'all know how we is. The folk on the lake, like, oh my God, what you need to talk about? What you think? What you think? Simon tells Peter, um, Jesus tells Simon, Peter, put down your net. Now, I told you he went to Morehouse School of Fishing. Okay, he knows everything the colonizer's classroom, the slave master seminary told him about how to do this thing, but it's some things that you only gonna get from the ox. Jesus is the ox, the Father. And so he's spending this one-on-one time with Jesus, and Jesus says, put down your net. Simon says, now hold on, Jesus. I know you're the entrepreneurial guru. I know you are God and swallowing flesh. Here for my benefit and the benefit of us as a kingdom people. But you're a carpenter. You don't know nothing about this thing. I went to Morehouse School of Fishing, but then he pauses. Who the fuck am I talking to? Nevertheless, he puts his net down. And the folk laughing like, what you think? Simon got Jesus out there trying to help him fish. Now Simon don't have them boats that y'all about to be on in a couple weeks laying out. You ladies, y'all know how y'all do. These is these old chopped down a tree. They ain't got no sonar. They only carry a certain amount. And Simon's profitability is tanking. But there's an anointing on his life. Only kingdom entrepreneurs understand what I'm saying. You gotta listen with your spirit. And all of a sudden, he yields to the instruction of the kingdom entrepreneur before coach, before me, Jesus. And all of a sudden, his profitability prophetically goes through the roof. Simon is a professional fisherman. He sells these fish for profit. And all of a sudden, he ain't blessed for himself. He's blessed to be a blessing. The net starts breaking. It goes from the kingdom classroom to the kingdom business mastermind. This is the one-on-one. This is where we're gonna get whoa. You can upgrade for an extra, you know what I mean, monthly, and you get accessibility to the mastermind. Boom, 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 boom. You can click on and see the AI 101 Kingdom Business AI prompts that I personally curated. And boy, even more than that, there's tons of the mastermind. Don't even worry about the mastermind. But now Simon calls two of his friends, and he says, y'all hurry up and come get some of this money. They get it. They like, yo, Simon says, Jesus, I'm unworthy of this. Simon said, Jesus says to Simon, no longer will you be a fisherman, but a fisher of men. Listen to me. Notice something. The folk on the lake watching all this, some folk ain't really want nothing to do with Jesus. They just wanted the bag. But when they seen the overwhelming increase they got by listening to Jesus. Now I'm gonna give you some $1 billion sales experience from a tech owner. $1 billion tech owner. I hadn't made $1 billion yet. It hadn't manifested yet. It's already done, but just God ain't get glory from it yet. Tom Walton, founder of IBM. I'm gonna give you his Dun and Bradstreet. He's a 40-year-old felon. Wife left him, kids disowned him, kicked out of the town he grew up on. And after all that, he turned his idea from a penny to $1 billion in the middle of a depression. We learn from a guy like that. He said, all business comes down to sales. My entrepreneurs, they understand that. You don't get no money till you get a prospect to become a customer. Exactly. He defines sales as intimate knowledge, as a transfer of enthusiasm. Excuse me. He defined enthusiasm, there it is, as intimate knowledge of the problem and intimate knowledge of the solution you have to solve the problem. I told you I don't know it all. But watching over 480,000 micro entrepreneurs go across my desk, watching Go Small Biz go from flying the flag of supporting over 3,000 entrepreneurs annually to over 60,000 independent micro entrepreneurs annually with no annual contract. Do you know how frugal you are as an entrepreneur? We're not talking the Chamber of Commerce where you get bamboozled into cutting a check and then you meet the same 12 people every month for 12 months. No. We had to give you value this month and value next month. That's why we went through over 480,000 folk in order to get it right. Value on top of 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 value. And so, one of the most important things to focus on is sales. Why? 80 to 90% of businesses go out of business, small businesses do in the first 3 to 5 years, not because they don't have a valuable product and service, because they can't effectively take it to market. So I know for a fact, in the depth of my being, I don't know it all, but I know this. every entrepreneur, every small business owner, every independent, regardless of what company they represent, goes to bed at night with the same question right here in the back of their brain. What's the question, coach? How do I get a bigger bag? You just ask yourself different. How do I increase my sales? How do I drive more revenue through my business? Ladies and gentlemen, the only two ways to increasing your sales is to offer more products and services and or to offer your existing portfolio of products and services in front of more people. Getting registered on the Kingdom Marketplace does nothing else but put your product and service in the way of more people. Right now, my spiritual daughters, the female students of Urban Success University, are pre-launching. In Georgia, there are 46 paper business directories that I created. My students are calling every single one. Hey, you still open? Hey, Dean K care about you. He just wanted to know if you wanted to upgrade on our new online digital small business community for free. If you want to upgrade, you can. You'll be one of our founding members, and we'll upgrade your profile. You just paying us. That's the conversation they having. They're sorting. Those that upgrade, be there forever. Those who won't, will be there for a year, see the overwhelming value, and be like, man, I wish I would have upgraded. Today's price ain't tomorrow's price. You still be there for free. But this membership section, because we sold a whole lot of the Go Small Biz and prepaid legal relationship. I did. I used to ask this question. I trained all of the network marketers of prepaid legal to ask this question. Let me tell you, Mark Victor Hansen calls it the ridiculous close. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, know-it-alls. They never see value in what it is that we have. But then again, 85 to 95% of businesses fail in the first 3 to 4 years because they know it all, but not you. Not intelligent, forward-thinking, success-minded entrepreneurs like you. You know what you know, and you know what you don't know. You see value in having accessibility to people who know what you don't know. And we're the largest consultation firm in North America. We got consultants available in every facet of business. Let me ask you a question. Indulge me. If you could have the number one consultation firm available to answer any question you have pertaining to any aspect of business for 30 days, would you be willing to buy them 1 cup of coffee a day to split per workday? Yeah. It's 5 days per week. It's 4 weeks per month. Those are 20 days. The average cost of a cup of coffee, $3.25, comes out to about $70 a month. The prepaid legal Go Small Biz plan was $75 a month. My next question is check or credit card. Would you try us out for a cup of coffee? Now, the reason we're the most highest sold, highest retention product when that relationship, we had that joint marketing agreement and the prepaid legal folk would tell us, is not because of the prepaid legal attorneys. I ain't a part of Go Small Biz and Target.com. I'm just giving my folk the real sauce. It's because they tapped into the consultant. Now, I'm not a member of Go Small Biz, but let me tell you, you can get that entire Go Small Biz membership now for $49 a month. That's a no-brainer. Open your head, take your brain out, close your head. It still makes sense. Makes so much sense. You imagine how much dollars it make for you. Now, those amazing networking events, that amazing networking, that amazing sauce to grow you, that community that existed between prepaid legal and Go Small Biz, those Go Small Biz events, those Fran targeting breakfast with Fran events. Imagine them laced with the kingdom. Imagine them beyond congregational and denominational lines. Imagine them. You don't even have to. You can get registered. We having them online. We having them in person. We're featuring the best of the best. And I'm doing what I always have been doing, equipping you with the information. We got the same agenda. Identify kingdom business owners, entrepreneurs, kingdom marketplace leaders, and we connecting on the kingdom marketplace. sharing our ideas and resources, promoting our products and services, establishing and strengthening relationships beyond congregational and denominational lines, and being equipped with the principles, the skill sets, the philosophies, and the disciplines that are required in order to build businesses that are conduits of God that transform the marketplace from a platform where Satan has a stronghold into a major spiritual transformational platform in the lives of God's people, just like my spiritual father, Reverend Dr. Leon Howard Sullivan, launched Boycott and Build. We flipping it. It's Mother's Day. Theworld.com. If you're a black woman, get registered. If you're a black mother, go to the Kingdom marketplace.com and click on the mompreneursquad.com. Click on the mompreneursquad.com. We took an extra $100 for any mother off. And now we not discounting the 250 that's going in our daughter's pocket. We as men, as the believing soldiers, we're paying $100 of the 250 for every black mother who wants to participate. We got some mamas who got some businesses that a $150, mama. And if you one of our mamas, just go ahead and click the thing, mama. We probably gonna sponsor you. All right. Cause this is about boycotting and building. We got some of them house niggas over there talking about boycott, boycott, boycott. Boycott does nothing if we don't build us. We have to boycott them corporations. Y'all see how they doing, and build us. All right. We are withdrawing our economic support from them and redirecting it to us, redirecting it to you. Even if you don't upgrade, someone is going to need the product and service that you provide. And so we want to be able to refer them over to you so that you can bless them. And then maybe from that financial increase, you'll upgrade. Listen, this isn't about me. This is about me being used by the Father in order to bless his people in a way to get God glory and you to back. I have talked way too much, but I I'm passionate and I'm seriously committed to your success. Can you tell? Seriously committed to our daughters. I've been the dean of USU since Yolanda Denise King and my spiritual pop number two, William Herbert Gray III, positioned me in 2002, 2003 beginning school semester. I'm committed to our daughters and 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 I need your help. I give them all the tech, but they need to show off on your success. Get registered. Allow our daughters to help you and help themselves. Okay, I want to help our daughters make some money over the summer. The public education department is over. The funding is over. Everybody talking about what's happening to the. Nobody's talking about our daughters. They deserve more than the streets. And the more of you that register, then the more of our daughters we can save from having to do something strange for a little piece of change. I'm asking you from the depth of my being, get registered and assist me with providing employment to our daughters. And if it so moves your heart, please upgrade. Help put a couple dollars into our daughter's pocket. It's not about me. This is our pre-launch year. Okay, so as long as you're registered for free, you're in a pre-launch, you can upgrade. Georgia, I'm setting the tempo for our daughters. All right. Ascension is May the 29th. Major announcement. Black Women Run Your World Conference, May 31st. First Saturday of the summer, Atlanta, Georgia. I got to get registered to get the location. Then they're going to go into full launch. And you want to be registered because you want this AI. It's going to bless your life for the rest of your life. I love y'all almost as much as the Father. On behalf of the Father, have an amazing day. Every major movement in direct sales, every major movement starts with the owner, starts with the VP of sales, putting it on the dry erase board. This is that. I own it, but 100% of the proceeds are going to our daughters this year. We will do over $1 million in sales. It's 48,000 of you. 4,000 of you are going to get the bronze. 4,000 of you are going to commit to sewing a little punk behind 250 into our daughters. And we are going to pay out over $1 million in the pockets of our daughters. And that's just the scratch of the scratch. You want to be a part of this move of God. It's gonna bless your life for the rest of your life. That's the vision. And then in the process, we're gonna upgrade success for teens. And we don't need them folk. We got the Lord in the biblical blueprint. First book that we're reading in the book study is Build, Brother Build, but we done flipped it with Build, Sister Build. Because Black Women Run the World.com. Get registered and help us prove it to